In recent months, power outages have struck various parts of Europe, from France to Germany, from the Balkans to the Nordics. At first glance, they may seem like isolated technical issues, but what if these blackouts are symptoms of a deeper, more systemic problem? Europe's electricity system is one of the most complex and interconnected grids in the world. Operated under the ENTSOE network, it links over 35 countries into one synchronized power web. From Germany's industrial hubs to the mountains of Slovenia, this grid pulses at 50 Hz, and when one part fails, the ripple can spread fast. The network depends on vast transmission lines, many built decades ago, now aging under the weight of growing demand. Electric vehicles, heat pumps, AI data centers. And just when the demand is rising, so is the fragility. Heat waves, storms, and flooding driven by climate change are putting critical pressure on the system. But that's only one side of the story. Let's talk about the economy. Every blackout disrupts production lines, halts logistics chains, and increases waste, especially in food and pharmaceuticals. A single hour of lost power in a major factory can cost hundreds of thousands of euros. Now multiply that across dozens of cities, and you start to see the true cost. Small businesses suffer most. Shops, restaurants, local producers, many operate on tight margins and can't afford backup systems. Their losses are immediate and often irreversible. Even digital startups aren't spared. Data loss, server crashes, and communication breakdowns hit them hard. Farmers relying on irrigation systems, climate-controlled storage, or electric fencing face real dangers to both their crops and their livestock. Cold storage failures lead to spoilage. Supermarkets lose inventory. Prices rise. And households? Life becomes more expensive. People turn to portable heaters, battery packs, and diesel-powered generators, all of which raise both personal expenses and national fuel demand. Here's where it gets darker. When the grid collapses, people turn to generators, and generators run on fuel, diesel, gasoline, oil. Every blackout becomes a silent victory for fossil fuel interests. As homes go dark, oil revenues light up. Demand rises. So do prices. Could these crises be used, or worse, engineered, to revive oil markets and tighten the grip of those who still hold the world's largest petroleum reserves? After all, it's no secret that under Trump's administration, the U.S. sat on record-breaking reserves and didn't release them. Strategic silence or strategic leverage? And what about the nuclear question? When power is lost, nuclear plants rely on backup systems to cool their cores. If, and only if, all those backups fail, we're looking at a potential disaster. The Fukushima tragedy proved that the real danger isn't the reactor. It's the failure of everything around it. So, are Europe's blackouts just a technical hiccup? Or the beginning of a new kind of energy warfare? One where control isn't won with armies, but with switches, grids, and fear. Let's talk. And in a world wired together by cloud systems and digital infrastructure, blackouts don't just cut the lights, they cut the lifelines. We live in an era where nearly every system, from banking to healthcare, transportation to communication, is connected through servers, data centers, and cloud networks. These systems run 24/7. Powered by electricity and stabilized by real-time synchronization. But what happens when the power goes out? Cloud access is interrupted. Hospitals lose access to patient records. Banks halt transactions. Logistics platforms freeze, delaying shipments, stranding supply chains. Smart homes become dumb boxes. Even emergency services can't respond without GPS, networks, and operational data. It's not just about inconvenience anymore. It's about vulnerability. The more digital we become, the more fragile we are without energy. Data centers, the heart of our digital world, depend on uninterrupted power and cooling. Without it, terabytes of information can be lost, operations shut down, and cyber attacks may surge through exposed gaps in backup protocols. The scary truth: a blackout in the digital age is not just a pause in life, it's a disruption of civilization itself. And for second and third world countries, where backup capacity is weak or non-existent, the collapse can be catastrophic. These nations risk being digitally and economically cut off from the rest of the world overnight. So now, ask yourself this: what happens when the power goes out? Not just in your home, but in your country, your economy, your connection to the world. Are we truly prepared for a system so fragile, yet so essential? Because this isn't just about flickering lights or stalled elevators. This is about survival, about sovereignty, about who gets to stay online and who gets left behind in the dark. The next war may not be fought with bullets or bombs, but with outages, algorithms, and energy flows. So let's not just sit in the dark and wait. Let's question. Let's prepare. Let's talk. Drop your thoughts below. Have you ever experienced a blackout that changed how you see the world? Do you think this is all by design? Or just a broken system spiraling out of control? Let the conversation begin right here.